Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you do an intro. Hello my fellow Latter-day Saints, Kenzie Retro, the Mormon Entertainer here.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you do an intro.
Most inspirational Mormon in all of Ayrshire here today. Yep, I'm live for the podcast for the first time. And today, this is it. This is the start of my E3 coverage right here on this channel. Every day for the next week, I'm live. So as you saw there you saw the schedule for what's coming up. So today is the first of my live podcast specials where I'm going to be getting you guys hyped up for the biggest gaming convention of the year, E3, or to give it its full name, Electronic Entertainment Expo. But we use E3, and that's easy enough for me. So, just to give you a rundown of the times that I am going to be going live for all the conferences. Tomorrow night, June the 9th, 7 PM. These are all UK time, folks, so adjust accordingly to your time zone. EA's conference first, 7 PM UK time. Then Microsoft, 9 PM UK time on the 10th. Bethesda, June the 11th, 2:30 AM. And then Devolver Digital, June 11th, 4 AM. Square Enix, 6 PM on the 11th. Limited Run, one of the publishers for the Nintendo Switch, June the 11th, 8 PM. Ubisoft, 9 PM. The PC Gaming Show, 11 PM. And then on the 12th, Sony at 2 AM. Nintendo at 5 PM. Then Wednesday the 13th and Thursday the 14th, it's going to be my top 20 E3 moments from this year. So yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 conferences. So I'm going to try and get 2 moments from each conference and then take it from there. And then next week, I'm going to be live once again for the podcast. But instead, I'm going to be reviewing E3. So, no points and trophies, no news. I'm just going to be reviewing E3. So there we go, folks. That is my schedule for what is coming up over the course of the next week, right here on this channel for E3. So, not only do I have a lot of juicy gaming news, I am also going to be going over my predictions for what is going to happen throughout E3. I'm going to give one prediction for each conference, and then we will take it from there. And of course, the points and trophy section at the end. Well, before I give my E3 predictions, just realised there's that's what we're after. That's what we're after. Right. There. And there. Right. There we go. Oops, hang on. Don't worry, folks, that will come into play later. Will come into play. Right, anyway, let's not worry about those just now, because not only have I got the latest gaming news, points and trophies, but we've also got the Battle of the Free Games. So what free games do we have on offer for June? I know we're a week into June. I couldn't get my podcast done last week because I was busy down in Sheffield. One of my good friends, Leighton Stockdale, watching as well. So, right, let's see. And in the points and trophies, we've got 2 games that came out. One of them being Shaq Fu: A Legend Reborn. How that game actually gets a sequel is beyond me. And I'll say that'll be the achievement. And Vampire is the game of choice for PlayStation. I'll be going through the secret trophies for that. So that is all coming up this week right here on the podcast. Right, so without further ado, before we get into the news, games and points and trophies, a big shout out as always to my good friends over at Boomerang Rentals. Packages start from as little as $3.99 a month. There are no late fees. You sign up today, you get a 21-day free trial, and you get 3 free game rentals as well. Like I said, there are no late fees. You can keep the game forever. You can keep the game as long as you like, or keep it forever at a discounted price on the online store. The savings are insurmountable, as I can testify to. BoomerangRentals.co.uk, the best place to rent your games. But first, before we get into the news, we have got some interesting news from Ubisoft's front, and it's something that I'm thinking, seriously, are they actually going to go ahead with this? But nevertheless, this is, in my opinion, the gaming screw-up of the week.
It's all laugh at an industry that never learned anything.
Yes. That is my signature jingle for the gaming screw-up of the week. It is from Ubisoft, the Ubisoft CEO, to be exact. Oh my goodness me, are you serious? Ubisoft CEO. He says cloud gaming will replace consoles after the next generation. No. I don't think it will. Shift to games running on remote servers could cause big changes in the industry. And how exactly do you plan on running said games without the necessary devices? Right. So nevertheless, here we go. Better start saving up for that PlayStation 5, Xbox 2 or Xbox Switch. That last follow-up name idea was a freebie, by the way. That generation of consoles might be the last one ever, according to Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot. After that, he predicts cheap local boxes could provide easier access to ever-evolving high-end gaming streamed to the masses from cloud-based servers. Yeah, slight issue with that. Do you not take into consideration those who cannot afford internet? Anyway, I think we will see another generation, but there is a good chance that step by step we will see less and less hardware, Guillemot said in a recent interview with Variety. With time, I think streaming will become more accessible to many players and make it not necessary to have big hardware at home. There will be one more console generation, and then after that we will be streaming. All of us. No. We are going to continue having consoles until the day we die! That relatively quick shift to a streaming-centric gaming marketplace might seem hard to believe from the vantage point of 2018, where even streaming a high-end game from a console inside your own house comes with plenty of headaches. Exactly! That just backs up my point. And while workable streaming services like PlayStation Now and GeForce Now have their niches, they don't seem in imminent danger of replacing high-end local gaming hardware altogether anytime soon. There you go. But when you put yourself in the mindset of 2027 or 2028, when the follow-ups to the next generation systems might be expected, it might seem more plausible. Consider that, according to Akamai estimates, average broadband speeds in the US ballooned from 3.6 megabits per second in 2007 to a whopping 18.7 megabits per second at the beginning of 2017. Itself a 22% increase over 2016. In 10 more years, we could see another order of magnitude increase in average bandwidth, or even if gigabit connections could become more popular. Combined with technologies to combat apparent latency, games running on a far-off server farm could someday be indistinguishable from one running in the same room. With any screen, an internet connection can run the same high-end gaming content, Gilmour suggested. A big change will come to the way games are played. It is going to help the AAA game industry grow much faster. He told Variety, we have to work on the accessibility of those games to make sure that they can be played on any device. But the fact that we will be able to stream those games on mobile phones and television screens without a console is going to change a lot of the industry. Do you not take into consideration exclusive titles, Ubisoft? Microsoft have exclusive titles. Sony have exclusive titles. The PC has exclusive titles. Nintendo has exclusive titles. The consoles will never die! Gilmour has a history of making grandiose predictions for the direction of the gaming market. In 2007, he predicted gaming would be twice as big as music by 2011. And he was right. You got lucky. By the way, in the US market at least, games were a $16 billion industry in 2011, compared to about $7 billion in revenues for the music industry in the same year. Gilmour also recently made waves by announcing that Ubisoft would be pivoting to a model which is less dependent on releasing new games. In other words, you're going to make yourself bankrupt! Focusing instead on live multiplayer games that encourage long-term engagement and recurring spending. Oh goody, Ubisoft have loot boxes! Such titles are more profitable in the long term than traditional games, which see revenue drop off more quickly. Gilmour said in a recent annual report, while that shift towards multiplayer gaming appears to be here to stay, the move to a streaming-centered gaming business is still yet to fully develop. But who knows, in 10 years, we might look back and see OnLive's early failed attempts at a gaming streaming business as just being really, really ahead of its time. And let's face it. Let's face it, Eve. Let's face it, Ubisoft. You got lucky on that prediction. And apart from that, cloud-based gaming without consoles? Wrong! Nevertheless, that is the gaming screw-up of the week out the way. Hello? What's this we have here? Feedback. Okay, anyway. Right. Here we go. And we've got news from EA. And those who know me very well, I do love to criticize EA. I do like to nitpick. Anyway, here we go. Alright. Let's see. Anyway, right, so anyway, EA news. Let's see what we've got. When I develop, right, and it's regarding Skate 3. Okay. When a developer or publisher kills a game's online services, it's usually an indication that the game is in the twilight years of its life. For some games, it's a coup de grace. However, it looks like EA's Skate 3 might just be an exception to the rule. A number of sources are reporting the game's servers have been inexplicably resurrected, just in time for E3. Coincidence? YouTuber X7Albert posted a video which indicates servers are functioning again, bringing back community parks, photo and video galleries, team lobbies, player profiles and more. Fellow skate enthusiast Robin Gaming corroborated the news, tweeting, "Skate 3 servers just magically went back online. At EA, you better not be trolling us, otherwise... ... Boy. Hashtag Skate 4. Skate 3 is the third iteration of the Extreme Sports franchise and first launched in 2010. EA cited falling player numbers when certain online features began to disappear around 2013, eventually pulling servers down in 2016. Really? Only 2 years ago? Wasted time taking them offline as far as I'm concerned. The reason behind EA's apparent decision to revive Skate 3's servers are unclear, but to do so just before gaming's biggest annual expo will no doubt raise a few eyebrows. Is EA implying it's a Skate 3 remaster, or even a Skate 4 announcement is on the cards? If Bayonetta 3, Metroid Prime 4 and Red Dead Redemption 2 are anything to go by, surprise sequels shouldn't ever be entirely out of the question. Right, here we go. So we've got Tetris Effect announced. There's a new game from the creator of Rez. Let's see what this is about. Tetris Effect, a new game by Rez and Luminee's creator Tetsuya Mizuguchi, has been announced for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation VR. It's due for release this fall. So we've got another Tetris game on the way. Goody! Named for the real-life effect in which Tetris players will visualize blocks and lines disappearing well after playing the game. The game will feature fan-favorite Tetris modes like Marathon, Sprint and Ultra. However, brand new modes will be announced before launch. Here is an announcement trailer. Right. Right, so what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to change the setup slightly. There we go. Actually, stick to that. Bring... Right, let's bring that over. Reactions, and here we go.
first formal studies of the phenomenon was at Harvard Medical School in the year 2000. Participants played the game for 7 hours each, spread over the course of 3 days. Remarkably, 63% of the participants almost...
That helps. That does help. Muted the desktop audio. Right, on the top. There we go. Let's try. The joys of being live, folks. You end up with a couple of technical glitches.
One of the first formal studies of the phenomenon was at Harvard Medical School in the year 2000. Participants played the game for 7 hours each, spread over the course of 3 days. Remarkably, 63% of the participants, almost 2/3, reported seeing imagery from the game hours after they finished playing, often just as they were falling asleep. This fact on its own was newsworthy. But even more surprising, amnesic patients with brain damage that prevents them from forming new memories also reported seeing game imagery well after they'd finished playing. These participants were unable to recall having ever played the game, but their descriptions matched those of players with perfect memories. Blocks. They all saw blocks, falling through space, sometimes rotating or fitting neatly into empty spaces between other blocks. Some participants also reported seeing completed lines disappearing.
Every passing day, the winds climb stronger. Joy to light the way to keep the reminder. I'm yours forever. There is no end in sight for us. Nothing could measure the kind of strength inside our hearts. It's all connected. We're all together in this love. Don't you forget it. We're all connected in this. I'm yours forever. There is no end in sight for us. Nothing could measure the kind of strength inside our hearts. It's all connected. We're all together in this love. Don't you forget it.
The researchers gave this phenomenon a name.
The Tetris effect. Okay.
PlayStation.
That I can definitely get behind. That I can definitely get behind. Very in-depth explanation of the Tetris effect. So anyway, the first new feature announced is the zone, with which players can stop time and tetriminos falling and either get out of a sticky situation that could otherwise lead to game over or rack up extra line clears for bonus rewards. The game's 30 plus levels all come with different music and apparently react to your play, with 3D effects that surround the play and pulse, dance, shimmer, and explode in perfect sync with how you're playing. Mizuguchi himself writes over at the PlayStation blog that everything in the trailer is an in-game visual. Announced as part of Sony's slew of pre-E3 announcements, Tetris Effect will be playable at E3, and a downloadable demo has been teased. As for what Sony's holding back at E3 itself, we're gonna wait in my case, we're going to wait until the conference. Very interesting, I would say. Very, very interesting. Now, ooh, goody. Now, the PC Gamer website, as always, is the sponsor for the PC Gaming Show. Just Cause 4 has been confirmed thanks to an early Steam advertisement. Here we go. Just Cause 4 definitely exists, and it's definitely coming to Steam. We were led to expect as much thanks thanks to a leaked Walmart document last month. But now an advertisement for the game has appeared prematurely on Steam. Kotaku spotted the advertisement first, embedded above, not long after Warrior64 posted the image on Twitter. According to the former, clicking the advertisement only leads to the Steam front page, and there's not currently a store listing for the game. The ad wasn't delivered to me when I logged into the Steam client, so it could have been removed already. It's the latest in a series of pre-E3 leaks, most of which can be traced back to that bothersome Walmart list. Rage 2, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and a new Splinter Cell game were among the highlights of that leak, with Splinter Cell the only major title we've yet to have verified from another source. Whatever the case, here's a handy list. 6 p.m. I did say 6 p.m, right? Yes, I did. Yep. So, yada yada. Yep. Sorted. Now. Right. Chrono Trigger's latest PC patch targets UI and quality of life improvements. Roll with the punches. Let's try and reload. So we go. Chrono Trigger, the SNES JRPG from 1995, launched on Steam in February. It did not look good. It looked so bad, in fact, that a group of hobbyist modders took it upon themselves to save the roleplay just days after its arrival on Valve's digital storefront. Square Enix has since patched its graphics and has set about repairing its ported from mobile UI. Today's patch builds on these improvements. Further to last month's update, the game's third PC patch tweaks UI across its world map. Inside its town and dungeons, within shop menus, during time warps, and during unique scenarios such as how narrative choices and minigames are displayed. So reads this Steam community update. The new UI options, designed to suit both gamepad and mouse and keyboard players, have also been introduced. On the battlefield, menu pages can now be flicked through with one button, and the speed of description windows can now be adjusted. Likewise, the update targets slowed down in certain areas, balances the difficulty of some minigames, and fixes several bugs. The fourth patch will be released for Chrono Trigger in late June, which will continue to make improvements to the game's overall UI, along with final changes to the menu, AI, and the title screen, adds the post. Additionally, key assignment functionality for gamepad, keyboard, mouse will be supported in this next patch. Following Chrono Trigger's official updates via its Steam page for unofficial nips and tucks, check out Wiz's words on why modders have taken on the quest to save Chrono Trigger on PC. Well, interesting. Right. Now, I'll say this much, guys. I saw the trailer for this last night. And I'll say this much. I was not prepared. So here we go. Right. Actually, what I'm going to do... much appreciated, Leighton. Thank you very much. I actually got it done earlier today. He's noticed I've had my hair cut. Anyway. Right, let's see. Time, right, change again. Right. Boom. Oops. Wrong tab, that helps. Now. Here we go. Like I said, I saw the trailer yesterday. Let's try and process this.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. AJ, come on. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. If you see a crocodile, don't forget to scream. Don't forget to scream. Come on, you love this one.
It's a bad song. You shouldn't scream. Ever. Screaming brings monsters.
Wow.
Yeah, you're right, kiddo. This song was written before, when kids didn't have to worry about monsters.
I don't remember a time without monsters.
I know.
There's one of the walkers in the river.
What's the first rule?
Never go alone.
Never go alone. Right. And what do we do when the monsters come?
We shoot them in the head.
And what else?
Always save the last bullet for yourself.
Now, what do you do if I get bit?
I swear on my life, if that foreshadows the death of Clementine, yeah. Like I say, if that foreshadows the death of Clementine, that is gonna be such a tough pill to swallow. Oh boy. So here we go. The last season of Telltale's acclaimed The Walking Dead series kicks off this summer. The developer announced that the first episode of The Walking Dead, the final season, drops on PlayStation 4, Xbox One and PC on August 14th, with a Nintendo Switch release set to follow sometime later this year. The final season marks the culmination of Clementine's story, who Telltale says has grown into a fierce and capable survivor. In addition to a new over-the-shoulder camera system, the final season features a new graphic black art style and scenes with unscripted combat. The developer also teases that players will need to wrestle with new types of choices as they guide Clementine's story to its conclusion. Here's Telltale's synopsis of the season. After years on the road facing threats both living and dead, a secluded school might finally be her chance for a home. But protecting it will mean sacrifice. Clem must build a life and become a leader while still watching over AJ, an orphaned boy and the closest thing to family she has left. In this gripping and emotional final season, you will define your relationships, fight the undead, and determine how Clementine's story ends. Ahead of its release, players can pre-order the final season on PlayStation 4, Xbox One and PC beginning June 8th. Pre-orders run from $20 and grant players access to all 4 episodes of the season as they become available. Those who reserve the game on consoles will also receive The Walking Dead Collection, a compilation of all previous 19 episodes in the series. In addition to the final season of The Walking Dead, Telltale is currently working on a new season of The Wolf Among Us. That was originally slated to launch later this year, but has now been pushed back into 2019. Now, in a way, I see that as a good thing, because yes, fans are looking forward to the Wolf Among Us, but to have that coincided with the final season of The Walking Dead, I think The Walking Dead's a much bigger priority at the moment. But that's just me. According to the developer, the delay comes partly as the result of a few fundamental changes here at Telltale since we first announced the game last summer, presumably referring to the major layoffs that hit the studio late last year. The game will also be available on the Nintendo Switch later this year as well. I'd love to see the rest of the Telltale games ported there. I'd love to see the rest of the Telltale games ported to the Switch. Right. Hitman 2 has a release date with a co-op mode as well. So let's see what that involves. We're still days away from E3 2018, but the reveals just can't seem to wait. WB Games has announced Hitman 2, which is set to release for PS4, Xbox One and PC on November 13th. According to the press release, the sequel to 2016's Hitman reboot will introduce new features, new modes, and franchise firsts. We run down everything we know in today's GameSpot Daily. One of the new levels is set in Miami during a motorsport race, and the press release hints at another location, dark and dangerous rainforests. It's also set to continue the story of the first game with Agent 47 hot on the trail of the Shadow Client. You will have to wait until November to play the full game, but if you pre-order now, you'll get access to the standalone Sniper Assassin mode. Players are tasked with surveying a lavish wedding before picking off the 3 targets and all of the bodyguards one by one, or multiple at a time if a well-placed shot meets some kind of explosive. And for the first time in the series, you can play this mode in co-op. Pre-ordering all versions of the game will get you access to Sniper Assassin, but if you pre-order the Gold or Collector's Edition, you'll be able to play Hitman 2 4 days early. Yes, Hitman 2 headlines today's episode, but we also have stories of Days Gone's release date, Skate 3's custom content servers coming back online, Valve's end to content policing, and the Persona 3 and 5 dancing games coming to North America. Well, safe to say business is definitely picking up. Right. Crackdown 3 has been delayed until February 2019. Okie dokie. So let's have a look. Ahead of its big E3 2018 showcase this Sunday, Microsoft has confirmed a report from Kotaku that Crackdown 3 has been delayed to February of next year. The game, the third in the open world crime fighting franchise, has been stuck in a troubled development cycle for years, with rumours swirling of late that it may have been on track to be cancelled, or that it might linger in development hell for years to come. Back in August of last year, Microsoft put its release date as the second or third quarter of 2018, after 2 prior delays. The previous Crackdown game came out in 2010, and the new title is being made by British developers Regent Games and Sumo Digital. Yesterday, Kotaku reported that publisher Microsoft Studios has pushed the game to 2019. Microsoft has now confirmed the report with a statement issued to Windows Central. Our fans' response to the signature antics and explosive gameplay of Crackdown 3 has been incredible. To ensure we deliver the experience they deserve, Crackdown 3 will be launching in February 2019. We look forward to sharing more on Crackdown 3 this Sunday during the Xbox E3 2018 briefing. We don't know if Microsoft had planned to reveal Crackdown 3's revised release date as its annual Xbox press conference on Sunday, but it's likely the company was forced to issue a statement because of Kotaku's reporting, which would have overshadowed any glossy press conference presentation of the game at E3. We'll still likely get to see a hands-on demo and perhaps a new trailer, but now we all know that the game is going to stay cooking for just a little while longer. Frankly, that's good news. Microsoft is in desperate need of exclusive games to rival Sony's impressive PS4 lineup. Right now, in addition to the Game of the Year contenders like Horizon Zero Dawn and the new God of War, the PS4 library looks like it will continue to improve with the addition of Hideo Kojima's new game Death Stranding, the new Spider-Man title from Insomniac, a potential From Software sequel to Bloodborne. But Microsoft won't be doing itself any favours by rushing out a game like Crackdown 3. It's one of the few titles that the Xbox One owners can get excited about beyond the core Halo, Forza and Gears franchises, and Microsoft wants it to be a testament to the Xbox One X's superior performance benefits. Now, I don't mind a game being delayed so long as it's polished and we are ready to go. Right. Right. Post-apocalyptic open world PS4 exclusive Days Gone release date confirmed. Excellent. got a release date confirmed for Days Gone. Right, let's see. Over the past month, we've been showing a ton of new gameplay from Days Gone, giving more insight into who Deacon is, the state world, and what it takes to survive within that world. We have also been reading your comments and have noticed a common question continues to emerge. What is the release date for Days Gone? To answer that question, we created a brand new trailer. Excellent, we have a new trailer. Let's have a look. So, setting change number 1. There we go. Change that. And boom. Let's go. Boom. They didn't waste any time. February 22nd, 2019. They didn't waste any time going for the release date. So let's have a look at the rest of the trailer.
You or Boozer have a run-in with RIP the last couple of days?
Why?
One of my men escaped to Ripper camp, got tortured, like they always do. But this time they kept asking me if you knew about it. 2 bikers, 2 men. The Ripper called them mongrels. If you ask me, you got a price on your head.
You know, same as me. Anything that happens here is far better than what's going on out there.
Looks like all of wildlife is after you. And we're all gonna die!
Just perfect.
Days Gone.
For the players.
February 22nd. I'll take my money! In addition to revealing the release date, the trailer above introduces 2 new animal threats. Mountain lions, or cougars, and infected ravens, called criers in our world. Right. We see another ambush event as marauders torch an old vehicle and roll it onto the highway, trying to knock Deacon from his bike. And the video ends with Deacon running out of gas in the middle of nowhere. A quiet moment perhaps, but maybe the deadliest of all. Most important, we introduce a new enemy human faction, Rest in Peace or RIP, is a cult that worships the Freakers, Rippers as they're known, dressed like Freakers, to kill anyone who isn't a Ripper. While they're important to the story, the Rippers are also an important part of the in-game Freaker ecology. When you get a chance to take down a Ripper camp, try bringing in a swarm and see what happens. Rippers refuse to kill Freakers, and the results can be very entertaining. Also, since we're starting to introduce more of the characters you'll meet in Days Gone, I want to informally introduce 3 characters you see in this trailer, 2 for the first time. William Boozer Gray was introduced in our first reveal trailer back in 2016, riding with Deacon on the broken road and keeping Deacon from bashing in the head of a dead freaker. From their cuts, we know they are both members or ex-members of the Mongrels MC. So they are more than just friends, they are brothers. Boozer is played by the immensely talented Jim Peary. For the role of Boozer, we needed a special actor who could help us tell the story. Boozer has to be tough, cynical, and a badass. But his friendship and brotherhood with Deacon has to come through as well. Jim has helped turn Boozer into a compelling and very human character. Alki Turner, pronounced Alk, I, A-L-K-I, is the arms dealer at the Hot Springs Survivor Encampment, played by the talented Jonathan Joss. Ada Tucker is a former prison matron who now runs the Hot Springs camp, played by the inimitable D.D. Rescher. Okay. These are just 3 of the dozens of characters you will meet throughout the Days Gone story, which we'll be talking more about as we get closer to launch. Oh yeah, launch date? As promised, and as revealed in our new trailer, we are excited to announce the release date of Days Gone. Drum roll, please. February 22nd, 2019. Ba-ba! Bend Studio are bringing Days Gone to E3 this year with even more new gameplay, so keep an eye on this space for more news and information about the game. Ooh, that is refreshing. Alright. Paladins announced for Nintendo Switch, features Xbox One crossplay. When are Sony gonna join the bandwagon? When are Sony gonna do the cross-platform play as well? Right. Paladins, Champion of the Realm. Hi-Rez Entertainment's hero shooter is now officially coming to the Nintendo Switch. After a lengthy build-up of leaks and rumours, Hi-Rez confirmed that the port would be arriving soon. Very soon. A pre-release early access window for those who buy Paladins' $30 Founders Pack will start on June the 12th, with a free-to-play option arriving later this summer. Hi-Rez isn't settling for letting Paladins be just another Nintendo Switch port. However, the studio is working to make sure that Paladins runs up to the high standards held across all other supported platforms. As such, Paladins will run at a solid 60 frames per second on the Nintendo Switch in both docked and handheld mode. Multiplayer running at anything less than 60 FPS just wouldn't be the same for the high action shooter. Also new for Paladins on Nintendo Switch is the addition of cross-platform play. Cross-play on the Nintendo Switch and Xbox One will enable players to match against each other in multiplayer, expanding the player base and making it easier for friends with different consoles to play together. Hi-Rez likely decided not to include PC players in order to manage competitive parity. And sadly, it seems Sony's continued denial of cross-play with other platforms persists with Paladins on the Switch. And yet they have Rocket League on and yet they were able to do cross-platform play with Rocket League on the PC. and they refuse to let other consoles join in as well. Come on, Sony, you know you're capable of doing it! As mentioned, Paladins will initially launch via an early access period of June 12th, the start of E3 2018, after the conferences are all done, of course. The only way to participate in this early access period is to purchase the $30 Founders Pack. In addition to early access, the Founders Pack will provide full access to all of Paladin's champions and voice packs now and forever, as well as some exclusive cosmetics. Those who prefer to wait for Paladin's free-to-play launch won't have to wait long. With the full game launching later this summer, the free-to-play version of the game grants access to 5 free champions completely, plus 4 more on a weekly rotation. Of course, players will be able to unlock other content through gameplay or microtransactions. You see, this is how you do microtransactions, EA. Take note that while Paladins Online multiplayer will initially be freely accessible on Nintendo Switch at first, players will have to subscribe to the premium Nintendo Online service when it launches in September. Paladins releases on Nintendo Switch on July 12th and will be available free to play later this summer. Paladins is also available now on PC, PS4 and Xbox One. Stay tuned for more information during E3. Whew. Been at this for an hour. And we have the confirmed date of the 2018 Game Awards. With the likes of E3 and Gamescom, while the likes of E3 and Gamescom are the biggest game industry events on the block, Jeff Keighley's The Game Awards is quickly establishing itself as a major event on the games industry calendar. In past years, the Game Awards has been home to huge gaming announcements, including the reveal of an impressive Death Stranding trailer that had Guillermo del Toro and Mads Mikkelsen in 2016, and one with Norman Reedus in 2017. This year, the Game Awards will be returning and will likely feature many more massive announcements that will get people talking. In a tweet, the event's organizer and host Jeff Keighley confirmed that the Game Awards 2018 will be taking place on December 6th, and tickets to the event will go on sale on Friday, June the 8th. Today, in fact, at access.com, how you pronounce it, axs.com. Keighley didn't offer any specifics about what will be included in the event. He is likely still hammering out the details, but he can't wait to celebrate the industry. The host also promises to work as hard as I can to make it a great night for all of us. This is what his tweet said earlier this week. We have a date. At the Game Awards returns live on Thursday, December 6th from Los Angeles. Tickets on sale this Friday. I can't wait to celebrate this industry, and I promise to work as hard as I can to make it a great night for all of us. As mentioned, some of the biggest gaming reveals have been at the Game Awards. For example, at the 2017 Game Awards, it was officially confirmed that Bayonetta 3 is coming to the Nintendo Switch, along with the reveal of Switch versions of the first 2 Bayonetta titles. PUBG Corp was also on hand to announce the Xbox One release date for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, while major titles such as Metro Exodus, Sea of Thieves, and Dreams were all featured. Even Bloodborne and Dark Souls developer From Software made a surprise appearance during the event. Undoubtedly, fans of Keighley's reveal bonanza will be hoping for more of this kind of thing. The event may be called the Game Awards, but the actual ceremony is considered by many as the side dish to all the reveals. E3 2018 is set to feature big news about games like The Last of Us Part 2, Crackdown 3, Anthem, and all sorts of unannounced titles that people don't know about yet, so perhaps the Game Awards 2018 can offer more tidbits about all of these. Moreover, many will have their fingers crossed for more moments such as A Way Out developer Joseph Fares' passionate defense of publisher EA and his bashing of the Oscars, which included a rather humorous F-bomb. Fares' comments did the rounds on social media at the time, and the replies to Keighley's 2018 Game Awards tweet mentioned the iconic moment several times too. While there's no guarantee that more standout moments like this will happen at this year's event, plenty of people will be tuning in on December 6th to find out. The Game Awards is one of those events that I will be reacting to. I might as well do the same with Gamescom later this summer, because why not? Oh, oops. Whew. Okay. Right. Valve to allow controversial content on its Steam store. Ooh, goody. What have they done? After facing mounting pressure to crack down on controversial content on the Steam gaming platform, Valve has announced that any and all content not deemed to be illegal or straight up trolling will continue to be carried on the platform. Brilliant. This comes days after Valve was pressured to remove first-person shooter sim Active Shooter, a game that caused uproar for putting players in the shoes of a high school shooter. Yeah, I can definitely see why they would want that to happen. Valve's new guidelines have sparked a predictable backlash for shirking responsibility for the content it carries. Valve claims the approach will allow it to focus less on trying to police what should be on Steam. Are you kidding me? We're going to enable you to override our recommendation algorithms and hide games containing topics that you are not interested in. How about not having the games on the store to begin with? Comments on Steam's own blog post, who gets to be on the Steam store, seem largely supportive of the decision, seeing it as a stand against censorship of indie creators. One user named Go1Owen simply said, "Thank you for letting me decide what games I want to play. Too big to fail? Despite the negative media coverage this decision will no doubt continue to incur, the Steam has something of a monopoly on the PC gaming market. The online platform dominates the sale and distribution of PC games, listing over 24,000 titles at the time of writing. While alternatives to Steam exist, Origin or Humble Bundle come to mind, none offer the same scope or enjoy the level of user or developer engagement as Valve's platform. Steam is hugely profitable, and we're sure Valve will closely monitor whether its hands-off approach is damaging in the long term. Of course it's going to be damaging in the long term. Of course it's going to be damaging in the long term. Absolute morons. So much for them being part of the glorious PC Master Race. Right. Pokemon reveals 4 new games for the Nintendo Switch. 4 new games. And this just came out last week. Right. Pokemon has brought its popular role-playing game series to Nintendo Switch for the first time with the launch of Pokemon Quest. 2 more Switch titles are set for an autumn release, with another due to come out in 2019. A game expert says they are likely to broaden the appeal of the device. The Switch is a hybrid console which can be used in connection with a TV or smart tablet, or as a standalone portable device. Although Switch's worldwide sales have been strong so far, the new games are widely seen as a way to continue that momentum and avoid the fate of the console's predecessor, the Wii U. That console was discontinued in 2017 after a 5-year run, following what many consider to be a fatal dry spell of new games in its second year on the market. The teased autumn titles, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, build on the popularity of the Pokemon Go augmented reality game for smartphones by allowing players to connect their Switch gameplay with the mobile app. Piers Harding-Rolls, Director of Games Research at IHS Markit, said that the games are obvious strategic decisions for Nintendo. The new games fit with their strategy and appeal to young users, female gamers, and family audiences with cooperative gameplay, he told the BBC. They are taking advantage of momentum on different platforms. Pokemon Go has a large addressable audience that's been engaged on mobile devices in the past. That shows me that their thinking is more all-encompassing than a single platform strategy. Nintendo has also announced a new device, the Pokeball Plus, which can be used to play Pokemon Go and the new Switch titles instead of the Switch's Joy-Con controller. Switch has sold more than 17 million units, more in its first year than the Wii U sold in its entire lifetime. Nintendo share prices rose by more than 4% in early trading after the announcements were made in Tokyo on Wednesday. Nintendo's next big scheduled update will be at E3, the gaming conference, at the E3 gaming conference in Los Angeles in June. Further details, including the as of yet unnamed fourth title for the Switch, may be announced there. Alright. Fortnite sued for copying rival game PUBG. This is ridiculous. And I do recall reporting on this over the course of the last few months. The makers of Fortnite, one of the world's most popular video games, have been accused of copying rival title PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. The studio behind PUBG has asked a court in South Korea to determine whether Epic Games copied its intellectual property. Fortnite and PUBG have both attracted millions of gamers with their huge last player standing online battles. Epic Games has not commented on the lawsuit. PUBG was released in March 2017. It was inspired by the Japanese thriller film Battle Royale, in which a group of students is forced to fight to the death by the government. In PUBG, up to 100 players parachute onto an island, search for weapons, and kill one another until one player remains. Fortnite was released in July 2017, but its Battle Royale mode was not added until September 2017. The game also sees up to 100 players land on an island, search for weapons, and kill one another until one player is left standing. However, Fortnite additionally lets players gather wood, metal, bricks, and build defenses. See, so they're not copying you, PUBG, they are just simply improving the formula, and thus making a far more superior game than your bland piece of trash. Both games have proved very hugely popular. In February, Epic Games said Fortnite had broken the world record with 3.4 million people playing at once. The previous record of 3.3 million simultaneous players was set by PUBG. However, analysts suggest the popularity of PUBG has waned since January, while Fortnite continues to attract more players. PUBG confirmed it had applied for an injunction against Epic Games Korea in January. The company is accused of copying PUBG's user interface and game items. Now, if they had the collecting of the wood, metal, and yada yada yada, then yes, I would understand. But it's not. You are idiot clowns! We filed the suit to protect our copyright. You ain't gonna win! You're wasting your time! Behind the scenes, the two companies have an existing business relationship as PUBG is built on the Unreal gaming engine, which was developed by Epic Games. You hypocrites! According to Bloomberg, PUBG has generated sales of up to $1.3 billion, which is about £918 million. While Fortnite is free to download, players can buy cosmetic skins for weapons and characters. Analysts suggest the game generates more than $200 million a month. There you go! You idiots! Right. Oh, yikes. Oh, hang on. Alright. Have I been missing anything in the chat? Nope. Right. Okay. In Detroit Become Human, failure is more rewarding than success. To get the full experience of Quantic Dream's newest story, you should consider what might happen if you break one of gaming's key rules. Oh. Right. When a game gives an instruction, a player's instinct is to follow it. You're trying to beat the game after all, so following its order to press buttons and move the analog stick will surely lead to victory, right? Even games that give you multiple options will expect you to take one of them. Apart from some oddballs like the Stanley Parable. 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. That's in the demo, by the way, folks. This doesn't really ever change, but in Detroit Become Human, failing an objective or deliberately not completing one can help make your playthrough more unique and open up parts of the story that the obsessive completionist would never find. In a Detroit set 20 years in the future, where the city is revitalized by the robot building industry, you play 3 different androids who each contend with humanity's treatment of their kind in individual but interlinked ways. This theme is one of our strongest parts of the game, and remains consistent and grounded despite the near magical technologies that power the androids and the society's other new toys. It all looks great too, as Quantic Dream's games typically do, even if there is the odd character collision glitch from time to time. Oh, interesting. I'm looking forward to playing it. I am definitely looking forward to playing it. Right, we haven't got much left to cover before we get into the free games and the points and trophies. The games industry doesn't know how to cure its loot box addiction. Simple! Get rid of them! Gaming has a loot box problem. Yeah, thanks Captain Obvious. These bundles of randomly selected virtual goodies, often purchased with real money, have quickly become a common sight in video games, with free to install mobile titles to premium Xbox and PlayStation blockbusters. They're immensely popular. No, they're not. Contributing to a global microtransactions business worth billions of dollars a year, companies like the Call of Duty publisher Activision now earn as much or more from sales of such items in-game as they do the games themselves. Meaning they can get complacent, they don't have to sell as many copies of the game just to make ends meet. Unbelievable. But for some players, they can become an unhealthy obsession. You tell yourself, okay, you can spend €200 from your paycheck, says Kevin, a 28-year-old self-declared former loot box addict who lives in Germany. Once that was gone, you'd say, okay, €300 is fine, and so on and so forth. Every time I'd check my bank account, my heart would drop and I'd be mad at myself. Kevin estimates having spent around €10,000 on loot boxes in total, spread across a number of games including Activision's Overwatch, Blizzard. Activision will forever be associated with Call of Duty. One does not simply associate Activision with Overwatch. And EA's FIFA 17. 18 now. Is this article a year old? Some months my bank account would leave me with a couple of euros after food, rent and loot box escapades. I was quite sad because I had no money to have fun in my life outside my home. No cinema, no public swimming pool, no festivals. The addiction forced me to stay in. The only entertainment being loot boxes. Entertainment. The act of purchasing loot boxes has generated something of a community. On YouTube, some creators attract tens of thousands of viewers simply by recording their reactions to high-value loot box rewards. And then the comments go, "Oh, it's fake!" Kevin would discuss his luckier loot box finds on Reddit, but struggled to talk about his habits offline, even as the impact on his own life became severe. Eventually, however, he brought it up with his girlfriend. I told her. Eventually, however, he's like, "Honey, in a week I spent 1,000 euros on FIFA 17 and I'm sorry, I feel like trash because that money could have gone towards our future. I was ashamed of myself and feared the worst, but she was understanding and told me, it's okay, these games can be very addictive and I'm here for you whenever you need me." Wow, very supportive. Loot boxes and similar mechanisms have been defended as essential for modern games to break even. No, what you need to break even are games that are actually good and do not rely on this piece of garbage. Helping to offset a steep rise in development budgets in the early noughties. They are essential components of the online games as service model that sees publishers working to keep players glued to their games in order to keep them keep selling them tiny morsels of content. Oh, goodness me, hang on. But as time goes by, more and more players are coming to view them as exploitable and unhealthy. When it launched last November, EA Star Wars Battlefront 2 let players buy a virtual currency, crystals, to spend on loot boxes containing powerful items, including hero characters such as Darth Vader, an example of pay-to-win game design. The system prompted a ferocious backlash online. After losing billions of dollars in stock value, EA redesigned the loot boxes to be less impactful. You should have taken the loot boxes out and left them out forever so they never be seen again. In the current version of the game, that they only yield cosmetic items such as character costumes that don't affect the odds in play. Battlefront 2 has sparked a wider discussion about the role of gambling-style mechanics in games, with governments beginning to take note of the phenomenon. Belgium screwed you over. Hang on. US Democrat, hang on. Wider discussion about in games, with governments beginning to take note of the phenomenon. US Democrat politician Chris Lee has labelled the game a Star Wars themed online casino and proposed legislation to ban loot boxes outright. In April, the Netherlands Gaming Authority declared that 4 unspecified games with loot boxes were in breach of gambling law. Shortly after, Belgian authorities ruled that EA's FIFA 18, Activision's Overwatch, and Valve's Counter-Strike Global Offensive were games of chance and demanded the removal of loot boxes. EA never listen. And it's not Activision's Overwatch, it's Blizzard! It is Blizzard's name on the box. Nowhere does it mention Activision. Activision will never be associated with Overwatch. It will forever be associated with Call for Money, recycled warfare. While acknowledging room for discussion, the games industry has closed ranks against these accusations. According to the US Electronic Software Association, loot boxes are not gambling, but a voluntary and optional way of enhancing your experience by making people spend their money when it's not necessary. EA says while it welcomes dialogue with governments on the issue, it does not agree with its games can be considered as any form of gambling. Have you seen how bad your packs are in FIFA Ultimate Team? And with this year's E3 trade show fast approaching, the role that loot boxes play in the business and playing of games will once again be front and centre. Unbelievable.
Coverage is about to stop.
Oops. Right. Right. Just got a bit of feedback from one of my friends. Right. What I need to do now. Apologies if I've been dozing off, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Right, there we go. That's that. Right. And boom, done. There we go. Now, where was I? Ah, yes, Fallout 76. So, this is going to be one of the big talking points. The Bethesda's conference. Fallout 76. I've just realised I've had it on the webcam set up though for a while. Alright. Oh, saves me doing a setup change. One less setup change to worry about. Into reactions, and here we go. Let's try again. Once it decides to load. You know what? Let's just look for one here. There we go. Right. So here we go. The trailer for Fallout 76. Ah, the Pip Boy.
Life is all there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like the breeze. Country roads, take
But when the fighting is stopped and the fallout is settled, you must rebuild.
I belong, West Virginia. Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home, country roads.
In Vault 76, our future begins.
Okay. Well, I'm impressed. I am impressed with what I have seen. Now, let's see what... Let's see what we have. There we go. Right. Bethesda has surprised fans by officially announcing the next entry in its beloved Fallout franchise, Fallout 76. After a day of online teases, it revealed a new project with a brief teaser trailer that offers some hints of what to expect and a look at its Vault 76 setting. But as Bethesda boss Todd Howard said just before it debuted, it was only meant as a tease. More is coming at E3 2018. We do know more than you might think after a single viewing. We've gone through the video a number of times and noticed a few noteworthy things. Bethesda has also confirmed the game's platforms, although there's not yet any word on a release date. That said, the company has made a habit of not announcing things far in advance, so it's reasonable to expect the wait won't be terribly long. More will undoubtedly be revealed during Bethesda's E3 press conference, which happens on June 10th. June 11th over here in the early hours of the morning. We'll also be hearing more about Rage 2 and whatever other projects the company has in the works. It's already teased that this will be the biggest show ever. what platforms it's on. Bethesda has confirmed that Fallout 76 is being released on PC, PS4 and Xbox One. Unfortunately, there is no word about a Nintendo Switch release, which didn't seem out of the question after the Skyrim re-release made it to that platform. That could always be coming later, but for the time being, it's only coming to these 3 platforms. Who's developing it? Well, Bethesda, duh! The Maryland-based developer responsible for the Elder Scrolls series and both Fallout 3 and 4 is at work on the game. It's possible other Bethesda studios are also working on the project, but BGS Bethesda Game Studios is the only one confirmed in the extremely brief fact sheet shared with the press. Obsidian, developer of the beloved Fallout New Vegas, had previously suggested it isn't involved with what Bethesda was teasing. What is Vault 76? Let's see. Given the game's name and what we see in the trailer, Vault 76 is seemingly set to play a major role in the game. Although it's not a place we visited before, this isn't the series' first mention of it. Both Fallout 3 and 4 reference it. According to the Fallout Wikia, it was occupied by 500 people who were meant to be a control group. It was intended to be opened 20 years after a nuclear war. A poster seen in the vault shows its existence was meant to mark the United States tricentennial in 2076. When does it take place? Well, Fallout 76 is at least partially set in the year 2102, based on the dates subtly displayed on a Pip-Boy in the trailer. In Fallout lore, the bombs fell in 2077, and the first Fallout game was set in 2161. Fallout 2 in 2241, in Fallout 3 2277, New Vegas 2281, and Fallout 4 in 2287. That would mean this game is set far earlier than any previous title, which could offer a different sort of perspective on the world. The specific date on the Pip-Boy is October 27th, 2102. That could be pointing to a release date for the game. What is Reclamation Day? One of the most striking shots in the trailer shows the Vault's atrium decorated for something called Reclamation Day. Based on the celebration and imagery, it is likely this is the day the vault is meant to open and the occupants are meant to begin rebuilding the outside world. What's curious is that the aforementioned dates don't quite match up. If the vault was supposed to open 20 years after the bombs fell, why have 25 years gone by? What song is playing? The trailer begins with the Pip-Boy playing the song Country Roads by John Denver. It talks about going home to West Virginia, which could perhaps serve as the location for the Vault 76 and the game. Is it an online survival game? Fallout 76 might be a much different sort of game, according to a report from Kotaku, which says the game will have online survival elements inspired by the likes of Rust. Officially, Bethesda hasn't said anything to suggest this is the case, but we'll surely know more once E3 rolls around. Everything's starting to fall into place with regards to what's happening at E3. So here we go. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee and everything we need to know. After recent leaks and rumours, the Pokemon Company has announced Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee for the Nintendo Switch. Inspired by Pokemon Yellow, the new Pokemon RPGs are set in the Kanto region and also connect to Pokemon Go. Here's everything we know about the new game so far, including what rumours were correct and how Pokemon Go fits into the picture. Right. Doable? Let's go. Right. What are they? Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee are not the core Pokemon RPG announced for the Switch during Nintendo's E3 2017 press conference. That game, often called Pokemon Switch, is set to release in late 2019. The Let's Go games are mainline Pokemon RPGs, however, and are developed by Game Freak. Director and producer Junichi Masuda said that the Let's Go games are specifically designed for newcomers to the Pokemon series, especially those who are familiar with Pokemon Go, and that they have been in development for around 2 years. So is this Pokemon Go on Switch? No. Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee do share a lot with Pokemon Go, as was rumored. They utilize Go's Pokemon capture mechanics, meaning you throw Pokeballs at wild Pokemon to catch them rather than battling them. You can also connect Let's Go games to Go via a Bluetooth connection, and you can transfer Pokemon from Go to Let's Go, though not the other way around. Pokemon appear in the overworld before you can initiate capturing them, and you can send gifts to Pokemon Go from Let's Go as well. However, the Let's Go games are Pokemon RPGs, and you explore the Kanto region just as you would in Red and Blue. While you can't battle wild Pokemon, you can battle NPCs and other players, and those battles use the turn-based system of the main Pokemon games. You get experience points both from catching Pokemon as well as battling other trainers, though Masuda said the leveling system hasn't been finalized yet. Is Pokemon Go required? What about motion controls? Well, there's good news. Pokemon Go is not required to play the Let's Go games. When catching Pokemon in docked mode, you do have to use motion controls to throw Pokeballs. In handheld mode, motion control aiming using the gyroscope is required, but you use the Joy-Con buttons to actually throw the ball. Are these Pokemon Yellow remakes? This is a prominent rumour, but it's not accurate. The Let's Go games are entirely new games in the main series. They are heavily inspired by Yellow though, and Pikachu or Eevee, depending on your version, stays by your side the whole game rather than going in the Pokeball while you explore. Shades of the first episode. Very first episode. These games are set in Kanto, but we don't know what the story will be like. Can Pikachu and Eevee evolve? Your starter Pikachu or Eevee cannot evolve in the Let's Go games. However, other Pikachu or Eevee you catch or transfer can be evolved. Only Jolteon, Flareon and Vaporeon are available out of Eevee's 8 current evolutions. Though the starter Pokemon are special, according to Masuda, you can put them in the box as you would other Pokemon, but in these games the box is in your bag. We aren't sure exactly what this means yet. How does transferring Pokemon from Pokemon Go work? The Let's Go games connect to Pokemon Go via Bluetooth, and the ability to transfer from Go is unlocked as you progress. Through Let's Go. Once you transfer a Pokemon, it is sent to a specific area where you then have to catch it. We don't know how stats will transfer, or if they'll be randomly generated, as they are in Pokemon Bank, when you're storing Pokemon from the first or second generations of games on Virtual Console. Masuda did confirm that Pokemon that are shiny in Go will remain shiny in Let's Go. Goody, we're gonna have the almighty shiny Gyarados! That's a big deal, since certain Pokemon Go events make shiny Pokemon far more common than they ever would be in the main Pokemon games. However, any Pichu, Pikachu or Raichu with special hats in Go cannot be transferred to Let's Go. Okay. Is there trading? And do they connect to Pokemon Bank? Masuda confirmed that you will be able to trade Pokemon between the Let's Go games. Transferring from Pokemon Go only works in the one direction. When asked about Pokemon Bank, he said he would not comment. Also, he did not comment on whether the Let's Go games would be compatible with present or future Pokemon games. What Pokemon are in Let's Go? Masuda has confirmed that the first 150 Pokemon, as well as their Alolan forms from Sun and Moon, would appear in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. We don't know yet if you'll unlock an expanded Pokédex when beating the game, like in the remakes of previous generations. Additionally, each version has slightly different Pokemon available, like always. Eevee's prominence in these games doesn't come as a surprise. Eevee has heavily featured with Pikachu in several recent Pokemon Center merchandise series. The most recent of which, Seiko Soda, Seiko Soda, is currently the only available in Japan. Eevee was also your rival's starter Pokemon in Yellow, which makes it the natural opposite of Pikachu in the two Let's Go versions. Makes sense. You can ride Pokemon? As shown in the trailer, you can ride certain Pokemon in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. The Pokemon has to be large enough to ride, though how that's defined isn't clear. Riding a Pokemon doesn't require HMs, because there are no HMs in these games. Right. Can you breed Pokemon? What about competitive battles? There is no breeding, and therefore no eggs, in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Though battles against NPCs and other players follow the same turn-based format as the core Pokemon games. It is not yet clear how stats work. That means that competitive Pokemon players who rely on breeding for good IVs, individual values or starting stats, and training for correct EVs, effort values or stats earned through battles, may not have as much to work with in Let's Go games. That said, Masuda did mention during our Q&A session that the Let's Go games are like any other main Pokemon RPGs, in that they are both accessible, but with depth for those who want it. An official competitive Pokemon series, the VGC, is currently played using Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. When asked about what game players will be competing in next year, the representatives of the Pokemon Company did not comment. Can you trade and battle online? Yes! Big exclamation point. PR confirmed with GameSpot that the Let's Go games will have both local wireless and Wi-Fi online features. However, the feature set will be somewhat simplified in comparison to previous games, in that there is no GTS, Wonder Trade, or Battle Spot, Ratting Battle, Free Battle, or online competition, etc. For an active membership for the Nintendo Switch Online service, which is scheduled to begin in September of this year, will be required to access these features. What else? Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee feature 2-player co-op, and while using one Joy-Con, another player can shake the second Joy-Con and join as a support character when in open areas or battle. This player can help you catch Pokemon and can battle alongside you, though it doesn't appear to initiate a double battle. Release date: Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee release on Nintendo Switch on November 16th. Note that in your diaries, folks. Releasing alongside them, but sold separately, is the Pokeball Plus controller, which is a Joy-Con-like peripheral that you can use when catching Pokemon. Right. That is all the news taken care of this week. And that means only one thing, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Battle of the Free Games. Normally at the tail end of the month or beginning of the month, I will be giving you guys what the free games are for each of the companies between Xbox and PlayStation. So far, Xbox is 4-1 up for 2018. So, without further ado, let's see what we have in store for Microsoft as they go. They go first, having the advantage as they won last month. The lineup of games available to Xbox Live Gold subscribers in June 2018 has been revealed. The following titles will be available to download for Xbox Live Gold members right now, in fact. Right, so here we go. So for the Xbox One, we've got Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russia and the Smite Gold Bundle. The Smite Gold Bundle, you get £100 worth of content, which essentially means I'm now getting Smite onto my console, onto my Xbox. Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russia is available right now, and Smite Gold Bundle is available from June 16th. Next week, just after E3. Right now on 360, backwards compatible on Xbox One as well, Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, and LEGO Indiana Jones 2: The New Adventures. What about the first one? I'm sure that'll come eventually. That's available from June 16th. Now, PlayStation. What do you have? Let's see. PS4, XCOM 2 and Trials Fusion. Trials Fusion was free for Xbox at one point. PlayStation 3, Zombie Driver HD and Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldier. And for PlayStation Vita, Atomic Ninjas and Squares. 5-1 to Microsoft, I'm afraid. I mean, I'm sorry, but right now, Microsoft have the better free games. Just need to check something. PS Plus March. Was it March that had Bloodborne and Ratchet and Clank? I was right, yeah. Yeah. Bloodborne and Ratchet and Clank. Right. 5-1 to Microsoft, which means they get the advantage heading into July. Now, last part of the show, split into two parts. And I'm going to be going through all the points and trophies in the Trophy Achievement Hunter section of the show. So, here we go. Points and trophies, Trophy Achievement Hunting. Points and trophies, Trophy Achievement Hunting. That was too much fun. That's one more time. Points and trophies, Trophy Achievement Hunting. Points and trophies, Trophy Achievement Hunting. Ah, yes. Right, so high scoring achievements for Shaq Fu: A Legend Reborn. I mean, the only big one here. I mean, the only really big one here is basically the Queen is dead. Defeat Yen Lo Wang. 50 gamer score. Over the shoulder boulder holder number 3. Take out 1,000 enemies using boulders. Counter a shack through 40 gamer score. Yada yada yada. This one, guys. This can be 100%ed easily. And not just that. Completion estimated time 5 to 6 hours. You could complete this game in one sitting. Something tells me I wasted my time with Shaq Fu: A Legend Reborn. Nevertheless, on to the PlayStation trophies. Points and trophies, trophy achievement hunting. Points and trophies, trophy achievement hunting. Okay, I'll stop. Does E3 start tomorrow? There we go. Oh, right. What I'm gonna need to do, I'm gonna need to. Anyway, let's see. So let's basically. Let's go through the secret trophies, and there are a lot of secret trophies. I'm surprised there were no secret achievements for Shaq Fu. I am severely disappointed. Right, 3 bronze trophies. Just take a bite. Embrace Clay during your first meeting with him. This is for Vampire, which also came out earlier this week. From Here to Eternity. Go to the shelter and rest. At dawn we row, take a ride with Dr. Swansea. On to the silver trophies, the dying Swansea, take care of Swansea's fate. Sacrificial lamb, take care of Sean's fate. Prepare to die. Take care of Aloysius' fate. Let Clay live. And then merciful release, let Clay live during your first meeting with him. Interview with the vampire, take care of Dorothy's fate. Defeat the beast, defeat Fergal. Defeat on stage, defeat Doris, bury the hatchet, defeats McCallum, a taste for blood, complete the game. And now the gold secret trophies, unnatural disaster, defeat the disaster, not even once, finish the game without killing any civilians, London's burning, turn all districts to hostile status, Hail Mary, defeat Mary, and Bloody Roots, find the recollection of Paulus Aurelianus. I don't know how you pronounce that. Right, hang on. No. That's better. Aurelianus. That's how it's done. Aurelianus. Find the recollection of Paulus Aurelianus. Aurelianus. Okay, gotcha. And then you've got time is on my side, which is basically earn all trophies. And that, my friends, is the elusive Platinum Trophy! Right. Right, so there we go. Tomorrow, 7 PM UK time, I will be live with EA's press conference. So, until then, I will see you guys tomorrow as my E3 coverage on my channel continues. Until then, I'll see you guys very soon. Have a fantastic day. Peace out. And stay faithful. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the first of my 10 EA. Actually, I've not given my predictions yet. I'm jumping the gun. I am jumping the gun. On a plus note, that does officially take me over the 2-hour mark. Right. Let's see. Predictions. EA. Anthem release date. Microsoft. Forza Horizon 4. Bethesda. Fallout 76. Release date. Devolver Digital. Hotline Miami 3. Square Enix. Kingdom Hearts 3 release date. Limited run. Right. Slime set. Oh goodness me, they've got Night Trap 25th anniversary. Controversial, I know. Night Trap release date. Ubisoft. I will be very surprised if they don't show Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Hang on. Oh, it's a Y instead of an E. I've got to take out the E. I've got to take out the E. Hang on. O-D-Y-S-S-E-Y. O-D-Y-S-S. Right. There we go. PC Gaming Show. Right. Hang on a second, folks. Alright, sorry about that, folks. Right. So anyway, PC Gaming Show. Total Biscuit Tribute. Let's see. Last of Us Part 2 release date. And Nintendo Super Smash Bros. Release date and roster. So there we go. That's my predictions. And we're done. We are now officially done with the first day of my E3 coverage on my channel. So, with that in mind, hope you guys enjoyed what you saw. If you did, hit the thumbs up. And if you want to be baptized into following this channel, hit the subscribe button down at the bottom. Click the bell to join the Latter-day Saints notification squad so you don't miss anything I do on this channel. I did Space Invaders yesterday up here on the top left, and down here, dedicated Trophy Achievement Podcast playlist, and on the bottom right, my dedicated E3 2018 playlist. In the meantime, I'll see you guys again tomorrow, 7 PM UK time. That's when I go live for EA's press conference. In the meantime, I'll see you guys soon. Have a fantastic day. Peace out and stay faithful.